This conference will now be recorded.
Is my screen visible? Everyone?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Gopi. Am I audible? Because I got one message that I'm not audible.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, right. Anyways, let's start so others can join meanwhile. Very good morning, everyone, and welcome to this course of JMeter. So today we'll see it's like a day one. So we'll see an overview of the course, like what all we will be covering and what all you will carry after this course, and how it will be relevant for you for your current responsibilities, what you already are performing, and what all new things you will be learning from here, and which will be applicable to many other domains also. Those things we will see today, and also we will have some Q&A where you can clear your queries, like what all this related, any queries related to this course, or how it's going to be, and how long it's going to be, and how the journey would be, everything. Okay, so let me share my screen. So just to give an overview of the course syllabus, mainly we are focusing on the tool JMeter, and also mainly the performance testing. So when we are learning about JMeter without having basics in performance testing. So generally what happens, the audience will be from different domains also, so not only from performance. So what I do is I give a small basic overview of performance also. So how generally the performance testing happens, what are the different concepts in performance testing, and how you create a test plan, test document, and how you create a script definition document, how you plan your test and all. So initially we will have those things which is related to the performance testing. Then we will move on quickly to JMeter, where we will understand how the JMeter will help you to overcome these problems, like in performance, like how you can test things, different services or applications, right? So how you perform that. We will have a detailed understanding of JMeter. So basically, obviously, we will have JMeter core concepts, scripting. Scripting we will go very widely, like because if you see if I divide the experience range. So for example, now let's say you are from 1 to 4 years of experience or 1 to 5 years of experience. So they generally do a lot of scripting. Okay, so they have to be very good at scripting, and initially when they enter into the organization also, what they get more, the responsibility will be on the scripting side. Now when we go ahead, like from 5 to 8 or 5 to 9 years of experience, what generally happens is you are given more responsibilities related to execution and analysis. Okay, so there you need to you need to have a very good expertise or very good knowledge in analysis. So the same way, so scripting we are seeing very widely, like how you perform scripting and all. And also obviously the people who are in the range of higher experience range, where they are into analysis, they also need to have passed through the journey of scripting, because otherwise they won't be able to debug the problems in scripting or in the script which is causing a problem in your application, because it's vice versa. So if you don't script your application properly in JMeter, we'll understand what is scripting and all, who are totally new to this. But so ultimately what I'm saying is, if you're not aware about the problems which you will come across scripting, you might give false alarms to the or false alerts to your client or customer. So scripting is also very important. Okay, then after scripting, we have the execution. Obviously, we will see what are the different things you need to take care of for execution, how you execute, different ways of execution, like the distributed testing and all in JMeter, how you connect your LGs. Like for example, you want to add more resource to your test. Like with one CPU, you're not able to run the test. You need to add more CPUs or more resources, or like you want to connect it to the cloud. So how you do that? So that we will see in the execution part. So what we will generally do is we will be using either AWS or Google Cloud. So generally Google Cloud is a better cloud when we are performing some activities. So what I will do is I will use Google Cloud, because we get a totally um, free trial. Okay, so there you can play around with Google Cloud with any component in Google Cloud. But AWS also we will just quickly see, so that you have an overview of both Google Cloud and AWS. So in that process you will learn little bit of cloud also. So how in real time cloud, uh, the activities in cloud happen, what are the different components in cloud, and all those. Okay, then obviously, then we will go to analysis section, where we will learn how to analyze your reports, how you report, because the journey is not complete by just creating the test plan and scripting, right? The journey will be complete only after you provide a proper report and proper results, right? So that also we will have to learn. So that we will learn, and obviously different protocols we will cover, so that you have an idea how you test different applications, right? So when I say protocols are nothing but different applications, like few are mail applications, few are like let's say you have a web service, you have an app, you have a mobile app. So there are different applications, right? So what are the differences you will see in JMeter side when you are testing those, right? So those also we will try to cover. Okay, try to see. Then obviously JMeter elements and all those we will see, like what are different elements are there, what are the uses of these elements, different plugins, different extension, different settings, right? How you update the settings in JMeter for your requirements and all. And when I say about the other things, like for example, we will be having a demo application, which is a microservice based application, which is an e-commerce application. We can say very basic e-commerce application, but it gives you a very good understanding of a new generation architecture application like microservices, and it's on Kubernetes. So you learn what are Kubernetes, what's microservices. So if you see here, this is the application architecture, very high level. And if you see here, there is order, microservice, payment, users, catalog, cart. So we will be deploying this application. So whatever I'm doing in this course, everything you will also be able to do. Okay, so everything I'll be showing step by step, so you can also easily deploy it in your own machine, on your local machine, even on cloud also, because I can teach you that also. So on the local machine you can deploy it onto the Kubernetes cluster. So it how it happens is, you set up a local Kubernetes cluster in your local machine, and onto that you will deploy this application, and we will use that for testing. Okay, so that's what we will do. So in this process, you will learn what are microservices, what are Kubernetes, what are pods, Docker, containers, and all. Okay, so which is very important nowadays, because if you see in the analysis, many of the systems are on distributed systems. So you need to understand these terminologies, understand these things, then only proper analysis you can do. Okay, so that's the reason I'm covering that part also. Then we have on the monitoring side, right? See, now you are doing analysis, you have the architectural knowledge, but you need to view what is happening, right? So for that, you need to have a monitoring tool. So we are using Grafana for that. So we will deploy Grafana. We will try to monitor things in Grafana. Okay, and we will try to see what all things you can monitor in Grafana, how you do that and all. In that process, you learn what's monitoring, what all you report. Okay, so those things, the different bottlenecks which you will come across, which you need to report, and those things. Then we will also try to integrate, because nowadays, let's say now we are in the monitoring state, we have reported it. Nowadays the automation is getting hold of the market, right? You need to be very good at automation, so we will integrate JMeter with Jenkins, very basic integration. So in that process you will learn what is Jenkins, how you integrate JMeter with Jenkins and all. Okay, so yeah, so overall the course will be moving like this. And when we are using Grafana, obviously we will using Prometheus to feed the data into Grafana. So that also we will learn how it happens and all those stuff. So everything. But if you see here, prerequisite wise, there is nothing much of a prerequisite, because everything you'll be learning in this course. But yeah, obviously, if you have a testing experience, like for example, how the testing happens in organization, that might help you. But even that is also not that much of a prerequisite, because everything you will get an understanding here. Yeah. So any questions, anyone till now regarding the course or anything coming in your mind now?
Hi Vishnu, this is Swati.
Yeah, I
Am I
said
audible?
yes, yes, yeah.
See, during this course, can we have some lab or project, hands-on
Yeah, exactly.
experience?
Yes, or everything. Like 80% of the things what we do here will be lab only. Theory will be very less, because obviously we are into testing. So and we are into the tools course, right? So it's not we won't like theoretically there won't be much. Everything will be doing hands-on only. It's not that I will just show you, but it's all hands-on. So what we will be using is we are using hypervisor VMs. So what we will do is we will set up a VM in our local machine. We will deploy the Kubernetes, we will install JMeter, then we will learn JMeter from that. Okay, so it's everything is hands-on. It's not that we will be doing more on theoretical side.
Okay, Vishnu. And scripting challenges also. Any?
Yes, yes, obviously. Even let me, I also provide a set of documents, which is here in the Google Drive. I have put, and I keep updating the documents also. So whatever we are covering in this course, everything, all the documents, you can find it in this drive, which I will share with you all once the enrollment is complete. So this will have, even this will have different, very important documents also, which can be used for your projects directly. Like for example, test plan document or NFR document. Okay, so these and documents you can directly use in your project. So get to create the test plan, to create the NFRs. So and also different, if let's say BeanShell, so be different BeanShell scripts, right? I have created, so you can directly use those scripts in your project. Okay, so yeah, so different documents I will provide you. And obviously like scripting challenges also, so such things, right? I have I will be providing you with the some important scripting challenges, or what all my real world experiences, what I have faced till now, okay, in my long journey. So that obviously I will be covering whenever I come across that topic. For example, like let's say I'm taking a topic in BeanShell. So in BeanShell, when you're scripting, you will be facing different challenges, right? So and that which I have faced, right? So that I will be covering obviously when that particular topic is going on.
Okay, Vishnu, thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Vishnu, Asha this side. Hope I'm
Yeah,
audible
hi,
for
Asha.
you.
Yeah.
Hi. So Vishnu, I just wanted to know that, can you cover the auth as well? Like, many basic auth
Mhm.
is also perfectly fine. Like many of the real-time application has a single sign-on.
Yes. Mhm.
And
Yeah, surely. What I can do is maybe I don't have a single sign-on application demo with me, but I will show you how it is done. Okay, like how it
yeah,
is
sure.
done in this. Yeah, that I will show you.
Okay, yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And also, like, see how many of you like are totally new to performance testing? Anyone who is not from performance testing background, just to get an understanding so that I can focus on them more when we speak about performance.
Yeah, Vishnu, I'm
Yeah.
into performance for the first one.
Oh, okay, Sharon. Yeah. Anyone non-performance, like I want such those, right, who are not into performance, maybe functional or manual, other testing domains. Anyone, or all are from performance? They are aware about performance, like what happens.
Hey, hi Vishnu. I'm
Hi,
into
Shruti.
manual testing completely.
Okay,
For
okay.
current project, I'm into performance, manual plus
Okay.
performance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm new to this. I have gone through YouTube videos,
Mm-hmm.
but I have basic
Yeah.
understanding.
Okay, got it, got it. Yeah, yeah. That is like anyways, you can be zero in performance also. There's no problem because, as I said, this course is for those even who are new to performance. Because JMeter is such a tool which is not only used by performance. It's used by developers also for unit testing. It's used by functional testers also when they are because there are a lot of Selenium drivers and all which you can just plug in with JMeter and run automation tests also. So basically, JMeter is a very widely used tool. If you see the main reason behind why JMeter is a widely used tool compared to any other tool, I will say even LoadRunner or any other tool, why it is widely used. What do you think the reason could be? Anyone?
Open source.
Yeah, that is one of the driving important force factor that it is an open source. But at the same time, it is if you start using JMeter, you'll understand it never feels like open source. The community is so large that they keep updating the tool. Like the bugs are very low, right? So if you like, for example, when you are installing or when you are performing or when you are choosing um, open source tool for any testing for any domain, the main question or main problem comes is the reliability of the tool, right? Like how reliable the tool is, how bug free the tool is. So JMeter is very much into that. Like it's very reliable, very bug free, and very widely used. That's why that because the community is very large, because it has been in the market for very long, and people are actively updating the tool also. So that's why it's widely used, not only based because it's free. It obviously it's a very important factor that's free, but at the same time it's very bug free and reliable. Yeah, Sham. Sham, you had some question? I don't hear
Uh,
you.
yeah, Vishnu. You said
Yeah.
reliable, but we were hearing that JMeter, after certain number of users,
Mhm.
we see a lot of instability issues. So how about them?
Yeah. So see, it's all about who uses that tool also, right? Because there are sometimes like you have to tweak some settings. It's not that there's a tool and you can use it for any number of users or any parameters or any conditions, right? So when you cross some certain number of users or when you are in a specific set of test conditions, you need to tweak the settings of the JMeter, right? For example, you need to update the heap sizes, you need to add more resources to JMeter, or and you need to optimize the properties of JMeter for that specific test condition what you are into. That we will be obviously seeing, right? Different properties, how to update and all. So that's the main reason. Like, see, when you observe that instability, because the properties which you will be using might be not a correct fit for what you're performing, right? So that's the main reason.
Yeah,
And obviously, yeah, see,
I
any
totally
tool, if
understand
you
that.
take
But at the
one
same time,
percentage, yeah, yeah, go ahead,
no,
Sean.
no, I understand. We
Yeah.
will be doing some heap settings, as you said. Even then,
Uh,
after
So there are a
10,000
lot of
users,
things, not only heap, Sham, because there are a lot of things. These are like, see, this heap and all is like in the market very common things which everyone does. Okay, but if you are into
mhm,
performance and if you're into JMeter very long, you will learn a lot of other things also, which we learn in this course, obviously. So it's
mhm,
not that. See, it's like we cannot say that it's only one setting which we need to update, right? So that we will see how, because it's also related to what script elements you are using. Okay, so that we will see.
mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
And how about execution? With scripting is one part, and execution that too. Here, as per my understanding, we need to
Hmm.
plug in few things. So, with what number of users you will give a demo with execution?
I can run it with 1 lakh users also. You give me 10 CPUs, but yeah, just kidding. Okay, so it's
No,
all
about
about
in
yeah,
your
yeah,
training.
yeah. Yeah. I am coming
Because
to that
many
point.
people
Just a
they
second.
just do 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So see, now it's like it's about more about the resources what you add. It's very linear. Okay. So if, for example, if you want 1,000 users, if you can run in one local machine, like let's say 100 users, you just add more resources. You can run 1,000 users. It's very simple as such. Only thing is some settings you need to change. Okay, that I will teach you, and I will not go with 10 CPUs. Obviously, I cannot spend that much adding 10 CPUs from the cloud, but two or three I will show you. Okay, how you add those two, three
At least,
CPUs extra? Yeah,
mm, can
yes.
you run at least one test with 500 users
I can
during
run
your
500
training?
users on my local machine also. That's what I'm saying. So it's not about the user count, it's about the application. I can show you now a small
Yeah.
application which can run with 10,000 users on my local machine.
Okay. Yeah, sure. That
Okay,
will
so
be
it's
great.
yeah. So see, it's not that's what I'm saying. So the number of users is based on the application what you're testing. Okay, it's not, for example, now let's say if I'm testing Amazon, okay, it's an e-commerce store, and let's say I'm testing one small application which is static website. Okay, like static and dynamic. I will explain you if someone is new to that. But anyways, we are speaking about this topic, so I'll use. So if you are using a static application, let's say if I can run 1,000 users on my local machine on static, for Amazon e-commerce, I can run only 50 users. So the reason behind that is the
Okay.
application, how heavy your application is, right?
Yeah, it renders a lot of things.
Correct. Yes. So that those things we will see. Okay, how it is happening and all, how the memory is getting allocated, what are the problems which we face, and how to resolve those. I hope
Okay.
I am clear,
Sure.
Shyam.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. And what about Gopi, Swati, Ramakant? Any questions? Sharon, Sonali, Asha, Pavan?
Yeah, Vishnu. Should we have
Yes.
any coding knowledge for this?
No, coding knowledge as such not required. Only in the BeanShell scripting, right? Whatever we will be covering, like for example, little bit of how you write. There are different scenarios, right, in which BeanShell you will use. So when we will be covering those, little bit you will learn about a small level of Java. But anyways, it's not very deep Java. And what all script I will be taking, I'll be sharing with you all also. So you can directly use it in your projects, right? What all scenarios I'm taking. So, and also it's not Java. When I say Java, don't get afraid that, oh, I will have to learn Java. It's like 1% of Java. It's not like even 100% or 99%. Like 1% of Java you will learn, which is required for the Bean shell. As a JMeter scripting part, that's what is required, not very more than that. Okay, that we will learn.
No.
But as such, other than that, coding is very, very low. Okay, so no need to worry about that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Because this course is mainly focused on testing domain only, so not into development, and also we are not very much focusing on the coding required. Only as a tester, what all you will need, right, in your journey, like let's say of 6 years or 7 years of journey, what you will learn, right? So that's what we are trying to give. So that as soon as you get into a project, you will be able to do a plan, you will be able to script, you will be able to execute, you will be able to provide the analysis, and also if you are good at the architecture, you can provide the recommendations also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Asha.
Vishnu, just one question. The application which we are gonna perform the performance
Mhm.
testing, will you make
Yeah.
that available after the course also for some amount of time, or it will be like
It will be with you
certain?
only. Okay. So see, whatever we are doing in it will be in your local machine only. So whatever I'm doing in this course will be available with you.
Okay, the application on which we are gonna perform the performance
Correct.
testing
Yes.
that we can use
Yeah.
after our course
Yeah.
also.
Yes, yes, any number
Okay.
of days. Like, see, that's what after the course also. See, whatever I'm doing here, and even the documents I'll be sharing with you. So you can just keep going through the recordings also, because these recorded videos will be provided to you. So you can go through the recordings, you can go through the documents and the demo. Whatever I'm showing, everything you'll be able to do on your local machine. Only thing is there is section where I cover a little bit of AppDynamics. So that uh, yeah, that will be like a free trial. Only you get it for only 15 days. Other than that, everything else is you can just install it on the local machine.
Okay, thanks, Vishnu.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello Vishnu.
Hi Vishnu. Are we planning to cover any API related things here in
Yes, I will
JMeter?
show you how generally the API testing happens, and we will. I will just give you a small overview of a tool called Postman, if someone has heard about it, and in that you will learn. Yeah, we will cover a little bit of API testing. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we cover microservice A/B testing?
Yes, yes, obviously. See, now this application, what we are using is microservice based. Okay. So whatever you will be scripting, testing will be microservice based application. And also other protocols also I will be covering. I will be covering means like I will be, though I cannot give you demo on all the protocols because there are different protocols like 20, 30 protocols which we can cover. But that will be like very hectic to cover all those with the demo. But obviously, like I will be giving you how you develop scripts for each of those protocols, going through each of those elements, what all you need to give, settings and all. So everything we will be covering. Okay, mainly, but our focus will be on web services and mobile applications.
Okay, okay.
Hello Vishnu.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Kavita.
This is Kavita. Yeah. I joined late. I don't know if you covered it or not. We have the JMeter results and why we are going for Grafana.
Kavita, sorry, your
It
voice
is
is
a
little low.
dashboard for the results,
Uh,
right?
can you be little loud because I'm not able to hear.
Okay. No, the Grafana is a dashboard thing, right? To
Correct.
showcase the JMeter results. And is there any particular reasons why we are going for Grafana?
Yeah, so see, basically Grafana is a very well-known open source tool for infrastructure monitoring. Okay. So whatever infrastructure we will have, we'll be monitoring on Grafana. So generally JMeter we never use much for monitoring because there are a lot of issues like latency and all. So generally any organization if you take, they will have some monitoring tool. And generally Grafana is a very common monitoring tool because of its open source nature. Okay, so that's why we are using Grafana for monitoring different infrastructure level, like monitoring. I'm saying, okay.
Okay. But that is not like that application on APM tools, right? This is different
No, 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 no.
from
See,
APM
that's
tools.
why we have a
Okay.
section where we see how you integrate JMeter with AppDynamics, right? So AppDynamics is an APM tool. What's the main difference between APM tool and Grafana? If you see AppDynamics and Grafana is AppDynamics will give you transaction level details. Like for example, if you're hitting, let's say, uh, a business transaction, I will explain you all these terminologies. Okay, what is transactions? When I use these words,
Mm.
don't get afraid.
Okay.
Whatever, this is like a demo session, so I'm just spanning it over the whole course. So now tomorrow onwards, it will be like everything will be going step by step. So you'll know what is request, transactions, and all those. But anyways, so in APM tools, you will get transaction level details like how much response time for each transactions, or what errors you are seeing, what are the problems, and all those stuff. But in Grafana, it will be more sort of infrastructure like the CPU, memory, pod utilization, and all those.
Okay, in Grafana we get the server stats also, is it?
Exactly. Yes. And we will learn like how you create a dashboard. It is very easy in both, like in AppDynamics also and Grafana also. We will see how you create dashboards for your performance tests and all. How you do that?
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, Anish, go ahead. I can see your hands raised. Anish.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After
Anish.
completing the course, will you provide any support and will you provide any end-to-end demo means any example of live sites for load testing?
Yes, yes, yes. Obviously, see, now the core structure itself is like we are going from starting to end, right? So, for example, we
Okay.
create from test plan to execution to analysis, right? Scripting, execution, analysis. So, obviously, it's like an end-to-end process only. And in this whole process, um, each step, okay, we will be covering the same application again and again, right? So, you will be learning like if you get one application from end to end, how you do that, right? So, obviously, it's an end-to-end you will learn, and it will be more sort of a real-world application only. Yeah. Hi, Krishna. Go ahead.
Sir, I can't view your page, sir.
Screen. Yeah, now it's no. I'm not sharing much. Are you not able to see now also?
Yeah, I can see now.
Okay. Yeah. Now till now I was not sharing much. I was just
Okay,
taking the Q&A, right?
okay.
Yeah. But you can go through the recording if you join little late. The recording is will be available. So who all join little late, they can go through the recording. What all we covered till now. Even you have any question you can ask me now.
The same
Sir, what
timings
is
for the course.
Yes, yes. So the timings will be same only. Like it will be always from 7:30 a.m. IST to 8:30 a.m. generally IST. But when I cover some topics like Kubernetes or let's say AppDynamics, some topics which need little more time for the continuity, I might go somewhere around 1 hour 15 minutes, maybe little higher than 1 hour. But generally it will be 7:30 a.m. IST to 8:30.
Okay.
Is it all 7 days?
No, no. It will be only for working days. Saturday, Sundays will be off. You'll not have the sessions, but the working days you will have
Oh, okay.
generally. But if someone like generally what I do is it's all the timings, and what we do is based on the audience only. So if they feel comfortable with some other time, and majority are feeling comfortable with that time, or they want a session on Saturday, so maybe to cover some topics more little early. So those things we can always accommodate, but that's purely on the audience basis, like how the audience feel comfortable. I just improvise based on that. Yeah, yeah, Krishna, go ahead.
are you covering this New Relic also, sir?
No, Neuralink I am not covering, but it will be very similar to AppDynamics and Grafana. So what I can do is maybe I can give a 15 minutes comparison how Neuralink and AppDynamics and Grafana, like it's very similar. Though I will not be covering Neuralink here, but it will be very easy for you if you learn AppDynamics and Grafana.
Sir, what about InfluxDB?
No, Influx I am not covering. See, it's the reason behind that is InfluxDB is very new, and the community is also not big, and there you need to know a Flux query language. So it's a
Sir, some
coding language which, yeah. So that's why
JDs
Prometheus
are
is a very,
containing
yeah, Krishna.
almost
Yeah, go
in
ahead.
job descriptions they are asking InfluxDB, New Relic.
Mhm. Yeah, okay. Neuralink, I obviously will not be covering, but InfluxDB, I can give you small overview, so that I can add. But obviously, InfluxDB, if you learn also, I don't think you will be able to catch it up very quickly, because you will have to learn a Flux query language. That's a prerequisite. Okay. So yeah, but anyways, I can give you an overview of InfluxDB, how it's done, and small query we will write, and we can try to see how it appears in Grafana. So that we can do, obviously. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah. Thank you.
And do you go through a Docker as well, Vishnu?
Yeah, Kavita. So when we are covering Kubernetes, we will cover the Docker also. We will see what are Dockers, containers, pods, Kubernetes. So that section when we go, right? So that time we will be covering that.
And do we have hands-on for everything?
Yes, exactly. Everything. So whatever words I'm using, right? Everything has a hands-on. So no need to worry that you will just see the theory, and you won't see anything. But everything will have a hands-on, and that's why I said like 80% of the course is hands-on. Theoretically, it will be very less. Only the section of this planning, right? The test plan, NFR document, and only those things you will see some theoretical sections. But after that, everything will be generally fully hands-on only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let me. So when we think about performance, okay, of an application, what are the two words that come into your mind? Two important, or some two important KPIs or parameters that come into your mind.
Response
The
times,
response time.
Right. So let's say response time. And what's the second one?
scalability.
Throughput.
Like let's say I will use the word throughput. Okay.
So that is volume, right?
Yeah. So let's say these two words are coming into your mind. Now, what is the significance of these two things? Okay, many of them don't still know, right? We just take it as response time, or we just take it as throughput, but these things have an inherent, or we can say they are very much related to the application behavior. So you can consider your application as an animal, and these two characteristics of that animal will lead you to different problems, or different solutions also, I can say. Okay, for example, now let's say, so that's why when you see performance test, okay, like when you're doing it, let's say I'm doing a performance test on an application, and I have a graph. Okay, and this is, let's say, the time means like how long I'm running. Like let's say this is 1 p.m, 2 p.m, 3 p.m, so my test is running. Okay, and like this one is like to make it very simple, I'm just saying like the amazon.com is there. Okay, this is my application, amazon.com. What I'm doing is like let's say 10 users are opening amazon.com. Okay, 10 users are opening amazon.com at the same time. Okay, so now what happens is like this is 1, 5, 10. This is a very basic way I'm explaining you these things. Okay, so 1 user, 5 user, 10 user, 20 users. So when considering, I will explain you what are request transactions and all. For now, just assume, okay, there are 20 users, and this, when I plot this graph, users versus not users, I will say, but generally we call it throughput only, but just consider it, okay, through users. So the graph, let's say, looks like this. Okay, and this is, let's say, application one. Okay, now there is one another application I'm testing, and the graph looks like this. This is application two. Out of these two applications, which do you think is performing well?
Users are static.
Users are static. Okay, there's no, see, that's what I'm saying. No need to think it very heavily. Like This, anyways,
Anyway,
it's not a puzzle I'm asking. Okay. So just see
the
the graph.
one
Okay. Yeah.
application one is performing well because when the users are hitting, they'll not be hitting the things concurrent. I mean, continuously. So
No,
there will be a
is
think
it
time
good?
of
So
use.
see, okay, let's assume like this. Okay. Now this okay, so like let's say, let me make it the diagram clear. Then maybe the question will be more clear. Okay. So this is application two. Okay, and application one is this. Okay. So now the general, so the SLA, or like let's say the TPS, what I want is 10. I will not use TPS word because maybe it's a new. Okay. So just use 10 transactions per second or per minute I want to hit. Okay. So 10 is the my number, or which my customer wants, or my client want, for which the application has to be ready. Okay. So now you say whether application one or application two, which is good.
Application 2 is good.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So see, if you see here, why application two is good. Now these peaks, right, which you are seeing above 10, what will happen at these like in this section of test, what will happen, what will be the resource utilization, will it be high or low?
I
Hi.
High, right? And here suddenly it's dropping, so it's like, see, for example, now generally what you will see is response time will be high here. Okay, and this fluctuation will be always there, and due to this fluctuation, now let's say my application has some auto scaling setup. There's something, let's say auto scaling, no need to worry about what is auto scaling, and all. Only thing is your resource will increase based on what this value is, the throughput. Okay, so what will happen is your auto scaling will also fluctuate, your load balancer will also will be like very much confused, like where to put the load and all. Okay, so this application overall will not be what, not be stable, right? The application one I'm talking about. But application 2 is very smooth, right? It's a straight line, your throughput. So application 2 will be stable. Now that's where you will be hearing this word, right? The performance testing definition. When you go ahead with, you'll be seeing load and stability, right? So throughput is a direct KPI of stability. So by observing throughput graphs, okay, or throughput variations, or throughput, whatever throughput you have details, you can understand, you can study the stability of your application. Okay, now coming to the response time. Now let's say I have an application. Okay, this is number of users, and this is again time I'm saying. Okay, 1 p.m., like let's say 5 p.m., and I'm testing two applications, or not two applications, let's say one same application I'm testing. Okay, and let's say number of users for initially was 5. Okay, let's say my graph is like this. Okay, then I ran this test one, let's say test one I did. Now next test I'm doing with 10 users, and let's take a very basic application, okay, which I'm testing, not very let's say not like very complicated cloud and all, but yeah, like a simple application. Now out of this, let's say the response time for this one is response time 1, and this one is response time 2. Out of this, which do you think will have higher response time? Means the time will be higher for that. Which one?
S2 will have high response time.
Yes. Okay, so this will have high response, right? And this will be lower than that. So from this, what do we see? Okay, when I increase from 5 to 10, what am I increasing on the application,
You mean
Load.
increasing the load.
right? So that's where the second word comes into picture. So the KPI which helps you to study the load is the response time. So now load and stability, that is performance testing indirectly. So that's what the definition everyone says, right? What is performance testing? We study the system load and stability. So indirectly we study, we always look into response time throughput to study this load and stability only. So now why this is important to understand is the world of performance testing is not just response time and throughput. So anything what can give you the application's ability to withstand load, or like to take different types of load, to take different types of step, like how the stable your application is, all those parameters you need to consider, which all you can, okay, you can focus on to improve the system's performance test. Like it's not that only response time and throughput if you get, or if you just collect those values you can like you can make your application perform well. There are different other parameters also which you can look into to get these two parameters, to improve these two parameters of your application. So ultimately performance testing is all about improving the load taking ability of your system and making the system stable at the same time. So if you keep increasing the load, your system should also be stable. So if you maintain these two things, then your application is performing well. And now my question is, so can I say it is like for any value it is okay, or there will be a specific value till which we need to make it satisfy? What do you think? Like when you're doing performance test, do we have a specific value, or like for any value it should work? Is it like that?
Specific value until the peak load reached, it is reached.
Exactly. So there's a specific value, and that value is called the SLA, right? The service level agreements which we have with the customer. Like my customer will say to me, like, okay, my application should work with 100 users. And at the same time, so what I should ask, I should not stop with 100 users. I should also ask them, like, what is the response time you're expecting for this 100 users? So let's say he says 5 seconds. Okay, so then now we have both. So from users, we have the throughput. From second response time, we have the 5 seconds, we have the response time. And now we can start optimizing our performance. And now my question to all of you is, now this is SLA, okay? This is SLA I have, and I am achieving 100 users 2 seconds. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. And my customer will be very happy if I can do this, because they thought 100 users will take 5 seconds, but there it's taking only 2 seconds. Now, how will as a performance tester you do this? So see, obviously this is the limit which I need to achieve, but obviously that's not the point which I need to achieve. I have to come down. So that's why I can make my customer happy, right? This is like, okay, you're doing just your work. If you achieve 100 users 5 seconds, it's just a work. But if you can achieve 100 users 2 seconds, that is like you are making your customer happy. So how you make your customer happy? By understanding your application well and optimizing it. Okay, so that's where the optimization or performance engineering and all comes into picture. Okay, and obviously now what if my result is like this? Will my customer be happy?
No, we are breaching the SLA, so we need to do some optimization.
Yes. And so like let's say now this is 6 seconds, and you whatever you do, okay, it is not coming below 6 seconds. Is it okay? So what's the next step? Generally, what you think will be happening in the organization? Now,
Even
first of
after
all,
optimization,
obviously,
you're saying?
yeah. So whatever you do, it is not coming below 6 seconds. But our SLA is 5 seconds. And such so basically what happens is such scenarios come into picture, okay, like because it's 5 seconds generally what is decided, mainly sometimes it would be decided by the BAs, we call business analysts, and they might not be from performance and all, and they would have given this figure, okay, but obviously with the proper justification this also can be signed off. But you should have a very proper justification and also very proper test results reports which justifies your saying, okay, it cannot go below 6 seconds. Now if I have to reduce it below 6 seconds, I either have to add more hardware, which is a very last option, okay. As a performance tester you will never say to a customer, add more hardware. Because why shouldn't I say this? Why it should be the last option?
Because of
Considering the
cost.
cost.
Exactly. So see, now my customer is spending cost on me. Now I am saying my customer to add more hardware also. Again, extra cost. So what is it he's getting an ROI? Nothing, right? So he's spending more. So that so indirectly it's a little negative to say to add a hardware. So but that should be a last option, right? So as a performance tester, to say to a customer that you add hardware so that we can bring down this response time, it should be the last and a final option after you can collect all the justifications what you can. Okay, so the other method. Okay, so now one is hardware, the other is configurations or optimizations, if anything which you can think about, or even changing some services, right? Like for example, now you see there is a third party service like let's say you have Amazon and you have payment gateway. Now payment gateway, let's say it's coming from Razorpay. Okay, so what do you think is if I change this Razorpay to like let's say some I don't know some other pay, okay, like let's say PayPal, my response time might increase because the SLA provided by Razorpay is 2 seconds and PayPal is giving 1 second, which is good. Okay, so I'm able to reduce 1 second here. So obviously 6 seconds will become 5 seconds. So such things also you can think about some optimization related to the overall architecture. Okay, how you can optimize. So yeah, so ultimately coming back to the point. So ultimately, whenever you are doing any performance test, whatever we do is always to improve these two things of the system: the system's load taking ability and the stability. Any questions, anyone?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
So now for this only, right? Like, see, now
Hello,
if
sir.
you see,
Excuse me.
yeah, you had some question. Okay, sorry, I thought, yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
go ahead.
if
Yeah, Krishna.
SLS will not give an in agreement, what
Uh-huh.
will be the process, sir, next?
Correct. So there are situations where you decide your SLA. So, so let's say it's that case because as a performance tester, you are given that requirement, like or that responsibility of choosing an SLA and coming up with some good numbers and then performing test on that. So in those situations, you will have to analyze the production data if it's already a live application. But otherwise, if it's not a live application, it's a totally new application, then what you will have to do, you will have to do some comparisons based on your experience, right? For example, you have worked on e-commerce, right? So you know generally for orders what SLAs we can keep, like the response time, throughput. But if you are into some retail, like let's say you're testing some application of Pizza Hut and all, so obviously that domain knowledge you should have if it's a new application. If it's not a new application, it's already live, you are just adding some over to that. Okay, so you should analyze the production data and compare it with whatever is already there and then provide the SLS. I hope you're clear. The question is clear, right, Krishna?
At least we do some benchmarking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Vishnu, may I know how many domains we'll cover in the course?
Domains means like you are saying this Amazon.com, like that domain you are saying, or
Yeah, like banking, hospitals, like that.
Okay. So I here we have only e-commerce demo application I have, but see, it's not as I said, like I can just take you some demo applications, but obviously when it start taking, you will understand all are very similar. Okay, like when you do
Oh,
it, when you do the testing on JMeter, only the protocol wise it will change. Like for example, you take it Amazon.com, you take PizzaHut.com or whatever.com, they are all HTTP, right? They're all web services.
oh,
Okay, but let's say you're testing database. Okay, so database, or like let's say you're testing some mail server, so that times things will change because the protocol changed. In mail server the protocol is SMTP. So SMTP, how, yeah, we will see now how what happens if you have a DB. So there is a JDBC, right? So different protocols are there. But so as I said, so application wise it will not change much, but based on what you are testing, like your DB or SMT, a mail server or a web server. So those things will change. That I will teach you.
Okay.
Yeah. And some helping tools also we will see, like say, let's say Fiddler we will see, because when we go for this mobile application testing, right, Fiddler helps you a lot. So that basic setup of Fiddler, how we use that, we will see. Then Postman, obviously someone said like the API testing. Postman is widely used in APIs, so we will see how the Postman works and all. If someone is new to Postman, so yeah, so different tools we will see. Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
And Vishnu, final.
yeah, sure.
So mobile testing will also cover here, like with JMeter, how can we do at least an approach?
Yes, yes. I would generally see what I will do here is I will show you how you record a mobile application, okay, and script it. Okay, though I will not, because I might not be able to execute the test because the applications won't allow me to test it.
Right,
Okay,
right,
but I will
at
show
least
you
an
how you
approach.
record. Yes, yes, yes.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So timings, I hope all of you are clear. Course, any doubts if you have, you can ask me, like anything related to course, what you have, or and obviously there is one. If I have some good time, like let's say 1 hour of time by the end of the course, I will give a small. It's like more sort of a bonus topic, I can say, on chaos engineering. Nowadays, it's becoming very popular, chaos engineering. So what I will do is one session after the JMeter course, I will do a small crash sort of thing on chaos engineering, what happens in chaos engineering, so that because generally every performance engineer is nowadays, or performance testers are nowadays also performing chaos engineering in their organization as a visibility point of view. Okay, so that will help you. So but obviously this will be done by the end of the course, after this course is complete. Okay, 1 hour on more sort of like a bonus.
Sure. That will be
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Okay, then if no more question, anyone has any question, or else we can stop it here for today and tomorrow we can continue.
So the final question, like how long the time period for this course?
It actually, the course is planned for 40 hours. It's a little long course because we are covering a lot of things, right? So yeah, but JMeter we will cover in the first 20 or 25 hours. Okay. Then after that, the 15 hours around will be AppDynamics, Grafana, and all those other things, right? Uh, that way the course will be moving. Yes. And obviously, we can cover it early also. As I said, some Saturdays we can take some 2 hours. So in that way, the number of days will come down. So we can cover the course little early. If someone wants to finish it early, okay. So those things. But generally, I think the pace is good pace because you will get time to do some hands-on also at the same time, because just by going through the course you might not learn. Okay, you should have ample time at home, back home, that you can do some hands on, you can revise, come back with question, right?
So this course right now it is planned every day 7:30 to 8:30 weekdays, and also we'll cover on we'll meet on Saturday as well.
No, as I said, it's not it's not
No,
urgent
that's
or
fine.
like
If
weekly. Yeah,
no, no, we are
but
absolutely
sometimes,
fine. Even
yeah.
if it is required, we can meet up on. I'm fine. I'm not sure about others. I'm fine, so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we can
we
cover.
can plan. So as I said, so it's more sort of a democracy. So we can take a voting like audience, like if majority are okay, because the weekends are sometimes, especially like they will plan something. So I don't want to force anyone on weekends. But if they are anyone is okay, everyone is okay, then yeah, we can take some Saturdays.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If no more question, let's meet tomorrow. Yeah, thank you all for joining, and let's meet tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vishnu.
Thanks, Vishnu.